In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 9 of Andor, titled Nobody's Listening. These episodes and this show is getting better and better as the episodes progress. 12 episode first season started off really slow, but once the, I want to say, 6th episode happened, things have been really progressing. Andor is still in prison, and the episode starts off with Bix being tortured and questioned by Deidre. And it has like a Marathon Man, Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier feel to it. They put this device on her and it's just like noises and she just starts losing her mind. Basically, she's being questioned because she wants to know, Deidre wants to know the whereabouts where Cassian Andor is and who this buyer is. Of course, we know the buyer is Luthen. Now, while Cassian is doing his duty at the prison, we find out that something's happening at this prison, and we don't know what it is. But Andor kind of comes to the idea that he wants to escape and tries to get Andy Serkis's character to help him along the way. But Andy Serkis's character doesn't want anything to do with what Andor has in mind. We also find out that Mon Mothma's cousin is Val, one of the ones who infiltrated Aldhani and stole all of those credits and everything. And it's really interesting to see that Mon Mothma still is pushed against the wall and tries to figure out what to do with her 400,000 credits that she has, or if she had that kind of money. And her friend kind of mentions that you need to deal with an arms dealer or someone who is not, pretend you should be dealing with. Really interesting because you see how nobody's listening to Mon Mothma as she's giving her speech at the Senate, and then everybody turns off their light, and then they go home. Her daughter still gives her shit. Her husband is annoying as hell, and it just goes to show like what's happening. Now, not only that, Deidre is still trying to find out, the aspect of the whole thing about the missing merchandise, Cassian Andor, what's happening, and who this person is that keeps coming into this fold. Not only that, the episode is really interesting because we find that Andor is trying to do things, and there's this older gentleman at the prison named Orlov, and he's really old and frail, and they keep showing him and showing him. So you know something's going to happen to him. Something does happen to him. He has a massive stroke, and he dies. But you think it's in a way where it's kind of set up, but it's not. I thought it was a setup, but it's not a setup at all. And you have Cassian and Andy Serkis's character trying to find out what happened on level 2, or unit 2 for that matter. And basically they all died. And the interesting thing about it is that we know the aspect of it, and Cassian keeps asking how many little guards are on each level. And finally, Andy Serkis's character is like, there's 11 to 12. So you know that now that things are going to go in motion about the escape in the prison, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the next few episodes up until the season 1 finale. The writing is exceptional on this show. The pacing is great. The aspect of this not feeling like a Star Wars show, but it actually is a Star Wars show, is really different. We didn't get much of Luthen in this episode at all. We actually didn't get him at all in this episode. He didn't appear in this episode. And Saw Gerrera did appear in the previous episode, Forrest Whitaker's character, but he wasn't present at all in this either. Now, Andy Serkis gives a fantastic performance as the character that he plays, and it shows because as he's that level-headed character, but then yet he's afraid something might happen, and when something does happen on unit 2 or level 2, then the wheels start turning in his head. He's like, okay, what can I do, and should I actually take up Andor on his offer? And by the end of it, you actually find out that he does. And you've seen Andy Serkis before in the Star Wars universe as he played Supreme Leader Snoke. That character was really well done, and now he's in Andor. Didn't expect him to be in this show, but it's a really nice relief. Anytime he's in a universe like this, it's always fun to see. Love the episode, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 9 of Andor, titled Nobody's Listening. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story? Did you like certain things about it? What didn't you like about it? And what do you think is going to happen next up until the season 1 finale? Remember, there are 2 seasons of this show, and the second season leads right into Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which features Cassian Andor. So you know characters on this show, and maybe season 2 don't make it, but then you know the characters that do make it. So it's going to be interesting to see how those characters are written off or die off in this universe, and it's going to be really, really fun. Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked, and I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 10 review of Andor.